Hello, fair planet. My shop was broken into again last night. That's 4 times since Burning Man. Twice during Burning Man, and then these last 2 times. And they took some water pipes. They literally just took some bongs and my little happy cat that waves. This little ceramic one I liked. And so I realize enough from all these little gray hairs I've gotten since I started a business that I should just not even care. Whatever. I have the internet. I have this stuff to put on the glass so it makes it unbreakable. Or they can still break the glass, but they can't get through it. It's called security film. The police were here this morning. Some lady took a footprint, some thumbprints or whatever. The thing is about a week ago, I had this really strong intuition to fast until the full moon, which would have been like 16 days. Now, I fasted that long before, but that's a long fast. So it was intimidating, and with Thanksgiving coming and stuff like that. But it was really, really clear. Because I'd thought about fasting, and I'd started to fast a few times before that. Gotten a couple days, a day, but like it was really clear in my mind. It was like the Black Madonna. I don't know if you've seen that. There's one in Switzerland that they dress up. It reminds me of Collie. But I got this real clear message. It was like she was revealing her heart. And it was this, you can never know what's going on. But the intuition had to do with maybe being worthy of fathering a divine incarnation. I mean, it was something special. Well, a couple days goes by, Thanksgiving is coming, all my friends, blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't pining for food, but the idea came, you can eat, And so I took advantage of that. And then, like, how can I say? I don't think it's this way for everybody. But because I dance with the divine in ways that only I can understand, because it's from the inside, I feel like if I start a fast and don't complete it, I suffer for it. And after breaking that fast, I felt a little bit bad. God doesn't need me to fast. It's ultimately for my own self. I don't think people necessarily need to suffer, but let's just say it's mysterious. I think it somehow is a benefit to the great cosmic creation, and if I start it and don't complete it, I feel like there's retribution to pay. And so, of course, there's no way to know if the shop would have been broken into or not. But so I started the fast, and I broke it, and then I enjoyed Thanksgiving, and I started a fast again. And yesterday at night, I hadn't eaten all day. The day before I was fasting, and then I had a little bit of food at the end. Same thing yesterday. Right at 10 p.m. or something, I got home. I hadn't eaten all day. And I ate some food. And then this morning I got a text saying the shop had been broken into. No. I don't know, man. Lady, whoever you are. Whoever you are. I'm not really that bummed about it. But it's just, I feel like my destiny is not what I'm semi-passively pursuing here. And so, like, I don't know if I need signs, or if this is a sign, if this is just random, if this means something. There's no way to know. So I was just laughing about it. I told my worker not to come in today. But I'm thinking about getting some Thai food. It's just after noon, and the lunch special goes until 2:30. I'm not really hungry, but Thai food releases dopamine. It's a fact. And earlier today, after this happened, I'm done smoking tobacco, but my friends use Hape, like the snuff. And so lately I've been taking a little bit of that, knowing better, because I definitely don't want to be a tobacco user. And so I get to work, And on the way, I go to get a coffee. The police wouldn't let me come in at first. They weren't being jerks, but like, they weren't being graceful in the way I would have been graceful to myself. Anyway, I went and got a coffee, and I turned on the radio as I'm waiting there, and it's that Sublime song, "Loving is what I got." Said, remember that. Well, it starts out, and if you haven't ever noticed, Lady Madonna from the Beatles is like the same song, just with different words. It starts out, "Light me up that cigarette," and it had crossed my mind to buy tobacco this morning, thinking like, oh, I'm justified, I'll just smoke. But I know better. I know better. So I wasn't going to. And then that comes on, and as it comes on, I turn it off, wait for the lyric, and turn it back on, but then it says, "Light me up that cigarette," right as I turn it on. And then I come to work, and I'm reading this book about enlightenment, some brand of enlightenment, Ho'oponopono, which I would recommend that practice to anybody. Practicing it some over this whole thing. But in it, he talks about smoking cigars and how his guru there, is okay eating hamburgers and thinks it's a fine thing to smoke tobacco. It's all about your attitude. And so I'm not like pulled toward it. It's crossing my mind as like something that might give me some sort of satisfaction. And then this guy I'm explaining this to somebody who's here, a friend of mine, and this guy pokes his head in with a cigarette, and so tobacco smoke is coming in the shop too. And so I feel like it's all like I'm being tested, but I'm not interested in tobacco because I know I want to be a non-smoker. I mean, really, it's not just like, it's like I don't want to be, I feel like it aged me quite a lot this year. I feel like tobacco aged me this year. And, I just don't want that for myself. So here I am, puzzling how to live life. And things like this happen, It's like, this is the fourth time. And I really know that if I got security film and a few cameras and a little sign that said, whatever, it would be less likely to happen. But every person that comes in wants to say how bad it is that this happened. Every person that comes in wants to tell me that I should get cameras. And every person that comes in tells me, oh, what about your insurance? Well, I don't have insurance for this stuff. And I hate paperwork. So, like, if it, I would have paid more for insurance probably. Well, at this point, the fourth time, maybe not. But, like, with deductibles and everything, I would have paid more having insurance than not having insurance for the theft, for the break-ins. Now, kind of like this whole business is a trial run, me experimenting with business, retail. So I feel like I've gotten a good education, and I know enough to know now that I'm going to get some cameras, hook them up to the interlink. My face is dry. Oh, what? I mean, I know we age, we live and we die. I just feel like having this business aged me. Like I didn't have these gray hairs when I first started this business. Like when I first was opening the business 5 years ago, I found out my license was suspended. And so I had to go get a new license. And I learned that if you're in Las Vegas and you get a traffic ticket, you can just say not guilty, and they'll say, well, okay, we'll make that a parking ticket for you. How's that sound? They let you do that every couple years. So I didn't have to pay for the ticket. I certainly didn't have to pay for the license. I mean, the suspended license, because it really wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault at all. Anyway. I think maybe I'll just become a spiritualist teacher. I was talking to my friend about one of his. I was talking about Hape, and he was talking about this guy who he knows who does a bunch of ketamine and snorts snuff, like tobacco snuff. The Hape is basically tobacco snuff. And he was talking about how he decided he's becoming a shaman, which is kind of a joke in the greater psychedelic enlightenment community. All these people take drugs and become shamans. Like I want to celebrate people's quest for knowledge and their desire to spread good wisdom, but let's face it, just taking some drugs doesn't make you a magic man. But I try not to. I don't make those jokes to people who are in that position, but like it's pretty funny. Well, he was talking about this friend of his who's kind of a drug user and has about like 3 or 4 people who basically are his students, follow him around and do what he tells them to do. And I was joking how fun it could be to be a cult leader, but the thing is, you'd have to believe it. And like, for me, it would just be a joke because, like, I don't want to. I wouldn't steer anybody wrong. I wouldn't steer anybody wrong. Do 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 do.